Amazon's MMORPG New World does a remarkable job of emulating real life. You see, there are a select number of people who are using cheats, exploits, dupes, and whatever means necessary to get ultra rich ultra quickly, while the rest of us are scrimping and saving to pay our rent, which we sometimes cannot manage and we get evicted from our houses. Whilst I was leveling, I scrounged every last gold coin that I could, eager to buy my first house. I wanted it in Windswood and I wanted a tier 4 house. I thought the best thing to do would be to take the best advantage of the 50% off your first home, the discount, by buying the most expensive one and therefore saving the most gold. I think that was the wrong thing to do, and in this video I'm going to tell you why. If you're looking at getting a tier 4 house as your first house, to buy it you will need 10,000 gold coins, as well as to be territory standing 30 or higher in the territory in which you want to buy it. Typically most people are going to be looking in Windswood, Everfall, hopefully your faction owns one of those and that's where you're going to be looking at buying because they're sort of the main hubs that seem to be popping up in the game. The practical benefits of having a tier 4 house as opposed to one of the lower ones as you're leveling that you get 4 spots for storage chests instead of the one for the lowest tier of house, and you get a house recall every 2 hours rather than every 4. There are other benefits, but they're all cosmetic, and so who really cares unless you're some weirdo that wants to be at the top of this list here. As you can see, I don't place a great emphasis on it. This person, who's, I'm guessing, not legit, obviously cares a great deal. I don't know how you have this many points. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. It takes quite a long time to get 10,000 gold coins when you're leveling. It takes quite a long time to get territory standing 30 when you're leveling. Benefits, therefore, of spending 10,000 gold coins to get a tier 4 house as opposed to 2,500 gold coins to get a tier 1 house is 3 additional chest storage locations and 2 hours of faster recall. However, in my view, the faster recall is really irrelevant because you pay a set Azoth amount to reset the recall based on the percentage of the time left on the cooldown. 100% of the cooldown is 50 Azoth. So whether that's 4 hours for your tier 1 house or 2 hours for your tier 4 house, it's still 50 Azoth. If you've got 2 hours left on your tier 1 house or 1 hour left on your tier 4 house, it's still going to be 25 Azoth. Paying 50 Azoth to be able to teleport around the world, even at the maximum if you only just went there, is not a big deal. Compared to how much it costs to fast travel, that is a huge saving. And so, in my opinion, the only actual benefit you are then getting from a tier 4 house is to have 3 extra chest storage. The question you then have to ask yourself is 3 extra chest storage locations worth an extra 7,500 gold coins? Then you have to pay rent or taxes, whatever the hell it is. This is some ridiculous new world simulator where instead of having, real world simulator where instead of having fun, I've got to go to work to pay my goddamn taxes on a house that I already bought. I didn't get a loan to pay for the house, yet I'm still got to pay. Mad. It makes me mad. Anyway, let's say the rent, taxes, whatever it is 10% where you've bought. If you've bought a 20,000 house for 10,000 gold, it's still, that's going to be 1,000 gold coins. Well, the first time it's 7 days after you buy, and then every 5 days thereafter on a tier 4 house, you're popping another 1,000 gold coins. If you buy a tier 1 house, you're only going to be paying whatever 5% of 5,000 is. I'm doing maths in my head, 250 gold coins. So every week you're going to be saving an additional 750 gold coins. Now, I'm not a great one for maths. I don't know if you've figured that out already or not. But let's say you spend the 10,000 to get the house, and then within 3 weeks you've already spent another 3,000 gold coins on rent. That's 13,000 gold coins. In that amount of time, you could have bought your first tier 1 house for 2,500, and then you're only paying 125 gold coins in rent the first time, and then you're saving an extra 750 as compared to if you bought the tier 4 house for the next 2 or 3 times you're paying rent. You've almost got enough there to buy another tier 1 house, which gives you another fast travel across the world, which gives you access to additional storage in another location. In all my enthusiasm about recording and ranting about taxes, I forgot to say that probably the biggest benefit from houses is trophies. For every house that you own, you can put 5 trophies in there. You can own up to 3 houses, which gives you a total of 15 trophies total. You can only have one type of trophy in each house, but you can have one of that type of trophy in each house. So you can have 3 major loot luck trophies across 3 houses. If you spend 20,000 gold coins or 10,000 gold coins for your first house, getting the discounted price on that house, it's going to take you longer to get the second and then your third house, which means you're going to be reduced, or you're going to be limited in the number of trophies that you can have for that period of time, which is reducing your loot luck or your mining luck or your damage to certain mob types. It's probably the biggest. I know I go on to say something else is the biggest benefit, but I'm a drongo. The biggest benefit from owning a house is the trophies that you can put in them, and a tier 4 house which costs 20,000 gold coins gives you the exact same number of trophy slots and trophy efficacy as a tier 1 house which costs 5,000 gold coins and has much less upkeep. So ignore everything else I ramble on about here. I actually don't, because it's all very relevant and valid. But the number one thing is trophies, and the house that's 4 times the cost is exactly the same as the house that's a pittance, a mere pittance. Free, basically. It's free. In my view, one of the greatest benefit that houses have is the fast travel across the world, because if we look on the map here, I really only have easy access to these 3 locations here that are owned by Syndicate, and to my inn, which is up here in Shadowed Mountains. I don't have easy access to Ebonscale Reach. I don't have easy access out to Morningdale. I'm relatively unencumbered right now compared to how I sometimes am, and it would still cost me a absolute fortune to get out to Morningdale. If I had a house, absolute maximum cost of 50 Azoth. It's rarely going to be that because I'm not going to be going there all the time, but I can just jump out there. Now, I mean, that makes a difference when you're level 60, I suppose, because it's nicer to be able to just get around the world. Where it really makes a massive difference is if you're leveling and you're trying to do... I said a really strange noise out the front. If you're trying to do town boards all across the world, if you're doing PvP missions in different locations, if you happen to want to do an expedition and you've only got 200 Azoth and the whole... well, 2 other people are there waiting, then you can just jump straight across the world and turn your quests in quicker, do your side quests quicker, get new town boards quicker. The benefits while you're leveling are far more significant than having an additional 3 chest storage spots, in my view. I really regret buying the tier 4 house because now, despite being level 60 and having been so for a little while, I still only have this one house. I'm stuck with this burden, despite having a 27% tax reduction every week from my territory standing points. I'm stuck having to pay 730 gold coins. Whereas if I had the tier 1 house, I'd only be paying 73% of 250 gold coins, which is a lot less. I would feel much less encumbered and be able to spend gold more freely rather than feeling like I've got to hoard it to save up to pay this tax. So in my view, I think that you should prioritize buying multiple tier 1 houses. It will save you gold in the long run. It will save you a lot of Azoth, both in the short and the long term. And it's a lot easier to grind there in the first place. You're not going to have to, whilst you're leveling, prioritize getting territory standing 30 at the one time, or hoarding all your gold till you've got 10,000 to be able to spend it. You'll be able to just get into the game a lot quicker, take benefit of the houses earlier on, and really use the fast travel especially to the greatest advantage possible. This has been a real slog of a video. I thank you for sticking with it. I'm going in... If you've got any value out of this video, then please consider leaving a like down below, and if you'd like to see more incoherent ramblings from a bald person, generally about New World, then I encourage you to subscribe. Thanks very much for watching, and goodbye. I hated this video.